welcome to the Fantasy Alarm Tutorials. This is the ownership report. The ownership report is not as well known as it should be, but it's probably the most important report that we have for you to be able to find diamonds in the rough to play in your daily fantasy sports tournaments. Very, very effective to know the projected ownership of the main slates on FanDuel and DraftKings. Okay, so this report only covers the main slates because we want to focus in on those that are for the $1 million or these $1 and $3 contests that are for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the opportunity for you to beat hundreds of thousands of people. You're going to need to have some players who are not owned very, very much. So, and conversely, in cash games, having players that are owned more will help you be successful in those games. So here you can see how to use it. You can select by position. You can select by game. Please show me only Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Please show me only tight ends. So you can sort this in any way you want. I like to go one at a time through each position and then examine that position and find myself some guys who are way down in the list, who might have good games. Charles Clay against Houston, who's been bad against the tight end, probably only owned 2.5%. So a good dart to throw potentially there. A lot of the other players there, you can see exactly what they think their percentages are going to be on FanDuel and on DraftKings. You can do it by any position there. Very easy to understand. So the concept is to make sure that you have players in your cash games that are highly owned. So you're going to want to have some of these players in order to make sure that you're protected. And they're the players who are most likely to do the best too, because when they're projected the highest, that means sort of crowdsourcing would say that these players are going to have the best weeks. Then if they do poorly, you're also protected because then 33% of the people who had Julio Jones, a third of the people you're playing against, will have the same despair that you have. So it cuts both ways. And for GPPs or for tournaments, you want to make sure you have the lower percentage players so that you can take advantage of the fact that when one of those players is the top scorer at his position, that moves you up in that category ahead of 95% of the other people. And to beat 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000 people, you have to have players who no one else has so that you can move past them. So this is the ownership report, and this is the Fantasy Alarm tutorial series. Thank you very much.